but there are some heroes who are making some very quick moves as well. So happy to start either way
Welcome to
with
the
heroes
Howie
or
and
zeros.
Beastmode podcast, where we discuss all things business, including growth, strategy, and execution, as well as personal and professional development. Let's join Howie and Beastmode in conversation.
What is it? 9-10 weeks of this incredible information on job interviewing, job search that Howie is so gracious enough to just share with us. But what we're going to do is we're going to recap those 10 weeks in hopefully 10 minutes and just see if we can rapid fire for you, whether you're catching us at the end or whether you're catching us at the beginning and want to get started. We're going to go and we're going to bullet point each one and just to give Howie just a minute to really capture the best of his thoughts for each one. So here we go.
Good idea.
So this is module 1. Howie, what was your...
Okay. So your job search mindset, you do want to treat it like a full-time job. So I was usually dedicating about 30 or more hours per week. Don't be too picky about the job types. You want to make sure, because you need to interview practice, you get sharper and sharper as you go. So, slum it a little bit as well as stretch a little bit, and also go for jobs that are a little bit outside of your comfort zone, because you never know. But also you need the interview practice because you get better and better. Also understand that no is normal, which means that, it really takes, like I was having to apply for like 40 jobs, online just to get, maybe 2 or 3 interviews, something like that. And so you really want to make sure that there's a volume game, there's a toughness game, there's a time commitment game. I see so many people who are posting jokes on LinkedIn when I know they don't have a job. And I'm like, guys, honestly, that same time you could have posted something that would have been, that would have got the word out about you, and you're just joking around. So these are some mindset things to be thinking about that will help you. From a tools recap standpoint, if you use Excel, I mean, it's okay to stay organized. It's what I did the first time I needed to look for a job. But later on, I found this HubSpot, which is a free CRM tool, which is really great online. Very few hours will help you to be very successful. But you want to use an organizational system. Use your calendar a lot. Make sure you calendar time to do job follow-up. Make sure you calendar time to do your job applications online, and make sure that you are using a lot of email templates. So you want to make sure that you're following up with people. So you might as well write very smart, very crisp, well-written emails and save them as a template, and be able to have those ready to go for follow-up as well as for pursuing recruiters and things of that nature. And then last but not least, use as much automation as you can. That's fine. Use as much automation as you can. Your profile on LinkedIn is really important. So profile recap. So a great LinkedIn profile is critical to get you noticed. There's someone that I counseled last week, actually, and I just told her, you got to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is searchable and that it's open. I made a sudden discovery after I had been on the job search for maybe a couple of weeks, that my profile was not publicly searchable on LinkedIn. That I fixed, and I became more searchable, so I found more jobs versus maybe someone would never have found me, right? The second thing is make sure that you don't have to use LinkedIn's open to work banner if that's too embarrassing for you, but you at least want to have, that's just a public thing. But behind the scenes, there's a setting that says that you are looking for work, and that makes you searchable by recruiter tools on LinkedIn. So make sure you have your LinkedIn set up that way. Connect to everyone that you know on LinkedIn and really work on building your network during your job search. And then also make sure you set up a great resume and a cover letter. And also work samples for yourself.
Yes.
Relationships are key to your job search. So, build yourself a recruiter network. I created and I put them all in my HubSpot CRM, but I think I have like 279 or some crazy number, a little less than 300 people that are recruiters that I found during my multi-month job search, and I would add them to my CRM, to my HubSpot, and then I would, send them an email, and then I would set a little alarm for myself, and I would, follow up in a few days and that kind of thing. So build yourself a recruiter network. One hack to do that, which I'll mention, is that you can, so if you're going to go for a sales recruiter or a cybersecurity recruiter or a nursing recruiter, whatever it is, you can type that into the search bar in LinkedIn. It'll pull up hundreds of recruiters, and go view their profile, and then they'll usually view you back. And while you're in there, send them a connection request and offer a chat with them. Tell them that you're looking for, their kind of recruiting, sales or cybersecurity or nursing or whatever it is. And many of them will run a job opportunity by you, connect with you, and always offer to have a quick chat with them, because 1 in 6 or 7 or 8 will have a little chat with you, get to know you better as well, and that gives you an advantage. So relationship is important. Recruiters are critical. Also use your friends and your family, your LinkedIn notice, post a notice on LinkedIn that you're looking for work and you love some help, and all that is really helpful. Branding recap. You really do want to create a strong online brand. One way I did that was creating daily content on LinkedIn, and I would have, job search tips. I would have other kinds of tips, inspirational things. But the thing is that people don't know you very well, unless they're close to you. And so posting on LinkedIn and creating, branding type content is really, really helpful. And it opened the door. Like I had direct job offers from just posting a lot every day or almost every day on insightful business, career, and even job search topics. Search sites, there's a lot of great sites. What you want to do is find some of the major ones and get your profile set up. They have their own format for your resume. You'll have to translate it all. You'll have to spend an hour and a half setting it up on Indeed and on the ladders and on Dice and on Monster and Career Builder, whatever ones you pick. Definitely want to use LinkedIn Jobs though. Whatever you do, one of them needs to be LinkedIn Jobs, and make sure you set it up on there. And then by going through their process of having all your stuff online, it means that a lot of the jobs become you can apply for them in one click. So set yourself up on these job search, and then every week you need to apply for every single job that's fresh and new, that's even somewhere ballpark of what you want to do on all three. Let's say it's three of your key websites. For me, it was like Indeed, the ladders, and LinkedIn Jobs. That was my 3 primaries. Job search hunting, use your calendar, set a schedule, use reminders. You want to be organized. I created some content for recruiters. I think it was, in my case, it might've been like 13 special emails, and I would send them, and they were literally numbered. So it's like email number 1 to a recruiter would talk a little bit about what I'm looking for, and I would talk maybe a couple sentences about my background, and it would attach my resume, a cover letter, and then some kind of a work example from my past. And then, I would wait maybe 3 or 4 business days, and I would send email number 2. Remember, I was sending this out to a lot of recruiters. Now I used an automation tool that I paid a lot of money for. You don't have to do that. Just use HubSpot free, and then send all your recruiters email number 1, and then set an alarm as you're doing that once you're in their profile, and send the next one in 4 or 5 days, and then all the way down. So you've got this content that's continuously keeping you fresh in front of the recruiters. And by you following up like that too, it shows discipline, creativity, and it shows persistence, which are great characteristics for the types of people that they're trying to get hired. Job search interviewing, this was actually our longest module, and there's a lot here. But overall, I would say if you want to be successful, then do a lot of research about the company and about the people that you're going to be interviewing with, and do note taking. So do reading and note taking, and be prepared. Have insightful questions ready to go, also written down, and have those ready to share. Be clear and be brief. Rehearse a little bit. And by the way, one of the reasons you want to take a lot of interviews that are sometimes out of your grasp, they may be beyond what you've done, or even slumming it and doing, interviewing for jobs that are a little bit beneath you, is that repetition and that practice. So that is a big deal. Eventually, I had one company, the company that ended up hiring me, said, some of our people are worried that you're too polished, which is a really funny thing to say. But the reason why they were saying that was, I told them, listen, I've been on the interview process for a long time, so I've become polished. Job, is this the last one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was fast. Job search storytelling. So prepare your story and study your past achievements. So what we recommended is doing a little bit of a meditation and a little bit of a writing exercise. Write down some key work examples and be able to speak to those during your interview process. And then also, I think one of the things that Beastmode and I really vibed on is really just thinking about, why are you passionate about that form of career, that form of job, and be able to communicate that to the person that you're interviewing with. Because then, instead of you just coldly sharing facts, now you're sharing passion and energy and excitement. And who isn't more interested in someone who has a passion for it than someone who can just coldly rehearse job history, right? It's not even close. You're in the top 3 just from being the more passionate one. And like Beastmode always says, and did say during our when we did the deep dive on that module, he said, listen, you can be prepared and it doesn't take away from you being passionate. Do both. And I thought that was really great. And the last but not least is, like, listen, work life hurts. Work life causes hurts, and there are setbacks. So turn your past, think about it, and what did you learn from the hurt or from the setback that is going to help you moving forward, and turn that into, because people will ask you about setbacks or a job loss or different things, and find the positive and find the lesson and learn from that and be able to articulate that. And I think people will understand that you are the type of person who is thoughtful and wants to grow, and can be a caterpillar that turned into a butterfly. And so that's a few thoughts from sort of like across the entire deck. I think both of us would say the module deep dives are worth your time, but also the last thing that I would say is, like, we are really happy to have individual conversations with you guys. If you haven't listened to the show very much or never, you might not know that we actually do interviews. And we interview just regular people. And so we're happy to talk to you about your career or your business or your journey.
So there it is. 9 modules over 9 weeks, recapped in about 11 minutes. Great job, Howie. It has been such a blessing. I hope that every single one of you receives the blessing from Howie and from us. And for real, we're ready to hear from you. Tell us how we can help you, and we'd love to do so.
Names and contacts, and turning them into engaged followers, customers, maybe potential clients.